the Mountain West versus San Diego State. You know that all of the presidents met yesterday, and it was D-Day. We were getting an announcement.
Kind of like the TV deal.
San Diego State's fucked. Like, that was what Monday was, right? That's what Monday was supposed to be in this conference. Yeah, it turns out it doesn't work like that. Talked to sources at the conference today who told me there were no public statements issued by the Mountain West yesterday. Talked to other sources at the conference who said, well, we didn't make a public announcement because we haven't finished the plan of action yet. And from what I understand, they're trying to figure out how much money they're going to withhold and how much money they are legally allowed to withhold and what their legal ability is to punish is a strong word. Sanction is likely the right word. The Mountain West is trying to figure out what sanctions are available to them and what tools they can use to sanction San Diego State by the terms of the Mountain West Grant of Rights and the membership charter. That's what the issue in the Mountain West is. They're not making a public statement because there is no public statement to make. Yes, the presidents met, we're told, for 3.5 hours by video conference, but there was no decisive answer as to here's how we're handling this. Most of the presidents are in lockstep that there needs to be sanctions levied against San Diego State for their disrespect and their, and I think people have been using the word treasonous. Let's not get carried away. But their damage done to the Mountain West Conference. And I think that's the first part of it. But I also think there is a large part of the sanctions they're trying to figure out to deter others from doing the exact same thing. Because what San Diego State did is they played themselves. Right? And San Diego State wants to come out and talk about how, well, you know, their J.D. Wicker, their athletic director at San Diego State, wants to talk about how he'll be somewhere. Not sure. Will it be the Big 10 or the Pac or the Big 12 or the Pac-12, 10, whatever it is, Jed.
Pac-10.
The point is that they said they were gone and they disrespected the conference. And Adela Della Torre, who apparently is not one of the most popular presidents in the conference at this moment, disrespecting the conference by saying that there's a pro rata that San Diego State deserves, and then disrespecting the conference further and taking the other members of the conference for granted, not as partners, but as just in existence, by saying we need a payment plan, we want to pay less. Hey, by the way, you can keep our money from the tournament. Well, we're keeping your money from the tournament anyway. So now what the members of the Mountain West, I am told, are trying to do is to figure out what tools they can legally apply to sanction San Diego State. And Jake, I think that's exactly what they should do. There was no reason to issue a public statement yesterday.
Yeah, and I think that this is exactly, like you said, it's exactly what they should do. San Diego State has unfortunately made their bed, and now it's time to lay in it, as the saying goes. And I think that San Diego State needs to pay a proper fee. You can sit here and try to spin and try to storytell and try to scheme your way back into the conference without a financial penalty, but the reality of the situation is you did give notice. You followed perfect protocol. A plus B equals we're out of the conference in the way you gave notice. You wrote a letter. You copied all the presidents on it, and you put Gloria Nevarez on it, obviously. And that's what you have to do to properly give notice.
Like, so, to the letter of the contract.
Yeah. And then you want to sit here and be like, oh, yeah, we didn't actually give notice. And so that's where, like I was saying yesterday with this topic, I think the Mountain West needs to be very cognizant of the fact that they will look weak, they will look foolish, they will look silly if you do not financially penalize San Diego State for coming back into the conference. Because, again, this is a unique situation, right? We don't see this a lot with teams sort of moving or whatever. I mean, we see, like, you know, with OU in Texas, the only conversation was, hey, how are we going to get this exit fee negotiated? And they wind up paying somewhere in the neighborhood of 60% of that fee. This is different because San Diego State left the conference and now is trying to claim they didn't leave the conference and wants back into the conference. So we don't really see this a whole lot, which is why I say the Mountain West has an opportunity here to prove a point. And if you go out and you penalize them, not to an extreme, I don't think it should be some ridiculous fee. but it needs to be a proper fee. It needs to be, in my opinion, $1 to $3 million to get back into the conference, and we keep the $6.6 million that you're allegedly owed or whatever, and we call it a day. That's what it should be, because you left the conference, so that money is not yours anymore. That's our money now because you left the conference. So we'll cut you a break and charge you $2 million to get back in, let's say, but that's it. That,
I don't even think it's
proper.
that. I think what the Mountain West should do is say, hey, we are keeping your NCAA tournament money, because I think one of the things they'd like to do is withhold that money. And I don't think you're going to be able to do that, but I think that's what they'd like to do. I think they are going to keep the money that they have withheld from San Diego State already, and I think they are going to try and penalize them with a revenue write-down.
Facts.
Because when you're only making $4 million a year, in the conference, because that's what the TV deal is about.
Mm-hmm.
Like it doesn't make sense to me for San Diego State to have acted the way they acted. They completely blew this thing up.
Yeah.
And by the way, I still maintain, well, how do you fix this situation? You merge with the Pac-12.
Yep.
That's how you fix this. Get rid of Georgie Poo and put Gloria Nevarez in charge, because I think she's done a great job with this. I think Gloria Nevarez has handled this exactly as she should. From the jump, she said, oh, you guys went out? Okay, cool. Like, go watch the interview on the channel with Gloria Nevarez, the commissioner of the Mountain West Conference. She was on the show, and she said, dude, it's a formality. It was well known when I took this job that at some point San Diego State was gone.
Facts.
And then this is how you handle it? When they gave you that much grace and runway to leave the conference, this is how you handle it? No, bro. Like, I just don't think that you can allow this to happen.
Well, and it's rather incredible that they would make this kind of mistake on the heels of getting Snapdragon done. Because, again, that's not some basic, simple, cheap little side project.
No.
I mean, that's, you paid a lot of money to do that. And again, I'm not saying that they went broke doing the Snapdragon build and renovation and all that good stuff.
Load.
But, yeah, I mean, you have debt load, and that's kind of the essence of financial health, right? I mean, we all go through times where we're in a surplus, and like, again, like look at our country, right? Sometimes we're, in the 90s we were in a surplus, and now we're in massive debt. I mean, it's the same thing.
And I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments about this. But Jake, what would you do if you were the Mountain West? I would keep the money that you've withheld from them, and I would write them down for a year.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's proven a point. And that's why I say I think. Again, on one hand, the Mountain West has to save face and really prove a point here. Hey, you can't just do whatever the hell you want to do. There are consequences for the decisions and the actions that you
when you
do.
Treat us like this and you take us for granted, there are consequences for your action.
But on the other hand, I also think you could look foolish if you go to the extreme in what I would say disciplining them or sanctioning them. Sanctioning is a proper word. In sanctioning them, you can't go to the extreme. It needs to be a proper, very much in line, makes sense, logical move.
I would agree. Tibbs gives us $5 to say Baby Yoda and 9 friends equal $30 to $40 million. George Kliavkoff in the pack, less than $20 million. Just saying.
Baby Yoda, that's funny.
Just saying, man. I agree. Kaufman says San Diego State might need new leadership when all is said and done. Dude, Adela De La Torre has put herself in the crosshairs.
But I don't think it's just her, though, right? Like I think her and JD Wicker scheme together. Because again, you don't do what JD did, and then your president goes and does what she did.
I agree.
And then we're supposed to think that those two weren't on the same page working together scheming? Come on, dude.
I agree.
Come on, bro.
Yeah. Truck Stop Gumby says Gloria's a gangster. Don't disagree. Boss Frog says San Diego State should be treated no different than getting an invite. They got a partial payout. Here's the grant of rights. Now need to sign again and expect a full share in 2 years.
Agree,
100%. Mountain West Conference is not worth $1 million, OG Gary says. What do you mean by that? I think if I am the Mountain West Conference and you merge with the Pac-12, I can see you getting that group of schools to $30 million a year.
Yeah.
Because CBS is already going to be involved because they're already involved.
Mm-hmm.
So I can see you making a deal with multiple partners at that point. Roche says San Diego State needs to be patient and stop moving around. Seriously. You just built Snapdragon Stadium. Now you want to move it to Los Angeles? Like, what are you thinking, man? That was a joke. See, but never mind. Ron Loney, the Pac-10 will soon be the Boat People Conference. Wow. Come on, man. San Diego, welcome to free agency. No, not doing Whale's Vagina today. John Bolster. John, what's up? The Public Research University of the Pac needs to just become the Ivy League of the left coast and massively de-emphasize athletics.
Bro said the left coast.
Why would you want them to de-emphasize athletics? Pac-10 plus Mountain West equals $12 million a team.
I guess.
Okay. Look, man, I would give San Diego State $3 to $5 million and move on, but they only get $4 a year. Ron Loney, Gloria, I think I got your number. Exactly. It's fair. Are you guys going to talk about the running back market? We are. And what happened to the position over the next several years as the big name players fail to get big contracts? What the Giants are doing with Saquon Barkley is criminal.
Yeah.
And it's criminal and it's stupid. But that's just me. I can be wrong. And donuts. Pac owes $70 million. San Diego State reduces revenue equals $20 million return on investment. Yeah, but don't forget SMU is going to pay $70 million to, that's what the radio wizard in the Great Northwest said.
Right.
Behind the curtain. Aaron Wilson gifted a membership to Taylor Smith.
Let's go, baby.
Let's go. Appreciate you. Make sure you guys hit the like button here on the Monty Show, where, as always, we are presented by The Advocates, theadvocates.com. You guys, The Advocates are doing an awesome thing. They are trying to help homeless kids get to school with the gear they need. And I was really looking into what the program entails. And it's hard to read the details, I'll be honest with you. The Road Home, who is one of the foremost homeless advocacy groups in the country, partnering with a power legal firm like the Advocates. Because there are kids in this country who don't have shoes and socks. They're asking for donations at Advocates Donations on Venmo because they're trying to provide kids multiple pairs of underwear for school. Think about that. I have a drawer full of Under Armour boxer shorts. You're welcome. Now you have a visual.
Whatever.
There are kids in this country who don't have a pair of underwear. There are kids in this country who don't have socks, who don't have what they call sturdy shoes. They want to give them multiple pairs of pants to wear because some kids don't have pants. They only have shorts. And some kids just have a pair of pants. Think about your 10-year-old child going to school every day in the same outfit. And that means maybe underwear or not, maybe socks or not, but the pants and the shirt are the same every single day. How's he going to be treated? How's she going to be treated? We can do something about that. We can donate to the advocates who are working with the Road Home to make sure that kids have the clothing, the bare necessities. We're not talking about AirPods and cell phones, dude. We're talking about pens and paper, socks and underwear, pants and shirts. Like, these are the things that our kids are struggling with in this country. Help them today. If you have $1, every dollar counts, please. If you have $1, if you have $5, $100, donate to the Advocates on Venmo. It's Advocates Donations on Venmo. That money goes straight to the Road Home to provide school equipment and supplies for homeless kids. Please shout it out if you donate. If you are so inclined, it'd be great if you'd mention the Monty Show when you donate on Venmo. If not, hey, totally fine as well. But just donate if you can. We've given, and I'm telling you, man, it's rough, dude.
Mm-hmm.
It is rough. Todd James says, preach it. Yet we have people donating to other countries. Let's fix our own backyard first. It's just so hard for me to think about. And I told this story about my guy in high school at the lunch table. But man, I'm telling you, think about kids not in high school, but think about second, third, fourth kindergartners. Think about seventh, eighth graders, how cruel kids can be with bullying and their words these days and cell phones and social media. And $5 makes a difference. Ron Loney says it's called goodwill. like the store Goodwill, there are people who can't afford to shop at Goodwill. I mean, seriously, think about that, man. J.K. Marshall, like Jake said, going bare can feel a bit crowded and sweaty. It's not comfortable. It is not comfortable. Cougar Tracks, if the Advocates could negotiate a media deal for the pack, they would have a lot of money for the kids. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Some of these parents quit buying beer and smokes, and they could afford some kids' clothing for their child, you guys.
Dude.
Come on now. It's not, we're talking about people that are homeless. We're not talking about people that are like, well, I think I need a new Pontiac, so you're going to have to go without shoes. Come on, man. This is a different thing. Thanks for getting me through the Facebook dry spell, NFL or football dry spell. NFL preseason starts in a couple of weeks. Send donuts. Thank you for the $5.
Which comes first, a media deal or NFL preseason?
Stop.
Hey, you start talking shit.
What comes first?
Guys.
The 2024 presidential election or a Pac-12 media deal?
Guys.
Not a bad question. My best friend in elementary was that kid. We would pool our milk money to pay him to eat bugs on the playground. Like, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Jeremy Callahan, exactly, Monty. Goodwill doesn't give stuff away in the store, and their stuff has been getting more expensive. Dude, do you guys understand? Kids are homeless.
Yeah.
And I know, and I'm not judging anybody, but we're really, all of us watching this show are in the 1% globally. There's no question about that. If you have a smartphone and you're watching YouTube, you're in the 1% globally. That's just a given. Think about kids who've never had a cell phone. Think about kids who don't have AirPods. Think about kids who don't have multiple pairs of shoes, who sleep in cars or homeless shelters. Those are the kids we're talking about. These aren't parents who are buying $12 packs of smokes instead of shirts for their kids. The social pressure that our young people in this country face, you guys, honestly, this is not about politics. This is not Republican or Democrat. This is human to human. We're talking about kids. They're innocent. And every day that they don't have shoes, socks, and man, we have kids going to school without underwear. Think about that, man. Would you want your kid to go to school without underwear? And the way this program works, because we're a national show, the Advocates have an office where you walk into their office and you pull a little piece of paper off the wall, and it's got a list of items that are needed for a particular child. Fulfill that list and you bring it back to their office. But we're a national show, so we know we can help. And so the Advocates have Venmo so that you can Venmo and make a difference for them. That's what we're talking about. Advocates donations on Venmo. Let's leave the politics out of it. Our dollar is becoming worthless. We're all about to become homeless. Force Ghost Fabio says, dude, wrong show. I challenge all you awesome casuals to match your super chat with a donation for the kiddos today. We should do, and maybe we do that Friday. I don't know. Maybe we should do a day. I'll get one of the Advocates to come on and talk about it. Like, you guys, this is a big fucking deal.
Yeah, what we should do is, because we have our usuals that will super chat us, what we should do
and we really appreciate everybody who does that. It helps the show immensely.
On Friday, we should take, or you guys, not us, because we don't take it, but you guys, what you should do is you should take your super chat that you would give us, make the donation, then screenshot that you made the donation and DM it to us. We'll put it on the show, and we can just get the momentum going. Because there's no reason. I don't know where we're at in stats today or views or whatever, but we get 3,000 to 5,000 views every show now. So
we're like almost 4,000 views today,
bro. If every person or even half the people who watched this show today just gave $1, you can see what that kind of impact would do.
It'd be huge. Mike Smith, how about getting Buckshot and Blade HQ to donate to a child charity as well? I will absolutely help. I will absolutely try to get that done. I will try to get that done. Ron Loney, if you can't afford, you guys, stop. We're not attacking parents.
Yeah.
This is what we cannot do. We cannot attack people. We've got to stop doing. We've lost the ability to communicate in this country, man. We're talking about helping kids.
Yeah.
We're not attacking their parents. We're not doing that. I'm talking about basic necessities for kids. And listen, if that's a turnoff for you, I apologize. Come back tomorrow. I understand and I appreciate it. Carlos says, you're right, Monty. There's a guy at my postal station. He was on the news and him and his family live in a van. He has a special needs teen and the guy rides his bike to work and starts his shift at 7 a.m.
Damn.
There aren't people trying to be homeless. Nobody's like, yeah, you know what? I need a new pair of Jordans. Jordans are my rent. Like, do you guys understand how many people, like last Christmas when we did all those Christmas donations, do you understand how many people reached out to us? And we met a bunch of people and gave them Christmas gifts for their kids. Do you know how many people cried in front of us? Do you know how many people are humbled by the fact that they can't afford Christmas because they're trying to pay their rent?
Yeah.
And we're sitting here indicting parents that should be snipped? Come on, man. Come on. Shooter Texas says, don't apologize. Never apologize for helping kids. They're innocent. They're innocent. Michael Peck says, regardless of the parent's situation, it's not the kid's fault. Let's help them out. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Cougar Track says, can we super chat the money to you guys? Sure you can. Absolutely. MJ Bassett, disappointing so many mean-spirited people in the chat. Wow, just don't donate. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If you don't like it, don't donate. You know what I mean? Like, that's crazy to me. I'm sorry, where is the link? I'd like to make a donation. Right here. Advocates donation on Venmo. Just go on Venmo. It's Advocates donations. That goes right to the road home. And listen, just if you just want to be anonymous, you can do that on Venmo. Whatever you want to say. But in there, just say, hey, for homeless kids. That would be fantastic if you guys would do that. And maybe on Friday, let me work with the advocates. I don't want to steal their thunder, or I'm not trying to like hijack their thing. I just want to help kids in our communities because that's what the advocates are about. They really work hard to support their communities, you guys. Like,
Yeah.
let's not focus on parents. Thank you, Kevin. Monty gives us $19.99. Thank you. Giggity says, do you know how long the advocates are doing the needs list in the office? I do not, but I will ask. I will ask for certain. Todd James. Well, if you have something nasty to say, preferably make it in a super chat so they can get paid to read it. That's what I'm saying. OG Gary, I grew up mad poor, and because of donations, we got a full bag of Christmas donations. I'm now in a position where I'm making over $120,000 for sure. Donating on Friday's show, would love to pay it back. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's do it on Friday. We'll put something together. We'll have the advocates on, and let's see what we can do. Saul Goodman says, greed of those same companies who build homes and businesses to people who can't afford them. Give to charity. Hypocrisy. Well, there's a lot of that. No doubt about it. Maury Alvarez says, where is Football at 50? Monday. Football 50 will be back full-time on Monday. Rick Olson says, is there some kind of accountability to where the money goes? It goes to the road home. And it is specific. This program is called Apples. And you can go on the Advocates website. It's on their Instagram. It's on their Facebook. It's on their website, theadvocates.com. And you can read all about it. You can message with them on their website if you don't want to send to a Venmo. Message on theadvocates.com, and you can chat with an attorney 24/7 and say, hey, heard about the Apples program on the Monty Show. What's it all about? And they will hook you up. They're great people. Trust me when I say that. Jeremy Callahan says, football at 50. Truck Stop Gumby wants the music. By the way, it's way too much at $78 per month.
What's 70? What
He
do
says,
miss?
I do YouTube TV. I got what you're saying.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Jason, can we help build a tent on Skid Row for the Pac-12? Wow.
Cold, bro.
Cold-blooded, you
Damn.
guys. Cold-blooded, you guys. Thank you, Cougar Tracks. Appreciate that. Phenomenal. All right. I got a little rough,
Yeah,
man.
that got a little intense, dude.
That did get a little intense.
Got a little intense, man.
I'm surprised, real quick, 30 seconds on this. I'm surprised that we cannot separate our vitriol for, because there are bad parents in the world, there's no doubt.
Mm-hmm.
Our vitriol for lack of parenting versus the innocent kid who is the victim of that. I'm surprised, and not all of us, I'm surprised there's so many people who want to attack the parents and forsake the child. Like, give the child a better chance than what their parents are providing for them. Bullying is such a... School's hard for kids, dude.
Yeah.
School is hard for kids. I'm telling you. School is hard for kids. The Monty Show, as always, is presented by our friends at The Advocates. You know them on a daily basis as the best injury attorneys in the business at theadvocates.com.
I was involved in a hit-and-run accident. My chiropractor recommended me to The Advocates. They completely took care of everything. Now that my case has been settled, I feel like I can go back to my normal life, all thanks to The Advocates.